I've pinched myself like 100 times thinking I was dreaming.
Just like,
what just happened? That was a wild third period. Oh my Lord.
Down by 3 goals with 1 minute left, and they score 3 goals in the last minute and then win it in overtime.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. It barely keeps our chances alive, but what the hell? Our chances are still alive.
2.3% now, Dustin. It went up by a whole percent after that.
Hey, you know what? Crazier things have happened.
Never boring. Never boring.
Man. Yeah.
It's hard to do a talk show when you're speechless.
Right? Like, I was just ready to, move on. Granlund buries that one from, like, the red line.
Yep.
The goal line, it's like, this one's over.
Yeah, 5-2.
It's 5-2 with a minute left. It's like, yeah, game over. Even when Ratu scored, I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Canucks score.
Consolation goal. Right? And then it's like, Suter scores 30 seconds later.
Like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't really want to give up. And then he scores again. It's like, what did I just, what just happened? I mean, it all started with the, I guess the Rantanen cross-check, we can say, kind of the turning point of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Rantanen was being a little bitch all night for sure.
Yeah, but that cross-check to the face kind of was the turning point, I think.
I mean, we're very lucky because if you look at the play again, I think it hits his shoulder first, but I think it's one of those ones where the one hand hits the shoulder and the other hand hits the face. So it's not a full cross-check, which it could have been a lot worse. But still, aggressively cross-checking a rookie. Like, good job, Rantanen.
Yeah. Anywhere towards that area, like, of the face or anything, right? It's just the act itself will light a fire under a team that's, they weren't really desperate for anything, but then something like that happens and it becomes about proving a point.
Yeah.
And they kind of all galvanized together and put everything they had in that last minute, knowing that I guess that last minute was their season. If they don't give it everything they had, they're done. And it's really great to see Aatu Ratu getting through there, and then Pius Suter, 2 goals. I mean, it's great. He's done absolutely fantastic filling in his role as a first-line center. I haven't badmouthed him at all in this role. I've just said, going forward, does he have the capability of doing that for an entire season with those elevated minutes?
Right.
No clue, right? This is great, what he's been able to do right now. It's just not something that you want him to have to do, right now as you don't want to have him as your number one center, right? No. Like you just, you reap the benefits of what's happening now. If you can make something happen with him at free agency, great. But, it's kind of one of those things where you just take what you're getting, be happy and move forward. And then Hronek turns the puck over, but uses every last ounce of effort he has left to follow through on that check and separate the player from the puck. Really close to taking a penalty, but he didn't hold or grab or hook. He just kind of shoved at the last second, threw him off balance. Great pass out front by Garland, and Sherwood just burying it to complete the comeback. Like, yeah.
Garland takes out Dumba too. Like, Dumba literally has a foot on Garland, right? Like, Dumba's like 6'5" or something like that. Garland's like 5'8", right? And he takes out Dumba. Like, crazy. Aatu Ratu now, since being recalled from Abbotsford, that is his 5th goal since he's been recalled from Abbotsford, and that is in 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 games. So he's got 5 goals in 8 games since being recalled from Abbotsford. And still, what did he get? 10 minutes tonight, probably?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's crazy
those young guys in those important minutes, man.
Well, just the fact that Dallas is up 3-0 as well. Like, they had 2 3-goal leads in this game. So they had 3-goal lead when Duchesne scored in the second period. Jake DeBrusk scores. Victorio Mancini scores to make it a 3-2 game.
Yep.
Ratu with an assist on that too, by the way, and Carlson. So you got the three young guys, which you love to see on the power play. And then Bork scores, and then Granlund scores the empty netter, restores the 3-goal lead, and then Ratu's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Yep. No, I mean it was fantastic to see. And then, especially when the Canucks were outplayed in the majority of the categories tonight.
Yeah.
Special teams not good for either team. Power play is great. Penalty kills, both teams took the night off.
Yeah, which is hilarious because they're two of the best in the league at penalty kills, but they both didn't do anything.
Yeah. Canucks hockey, baby. You never know what you're gonna get.
And on top of all of that, the Canucks had 22 giveaways tonight.
Yep. Yeah, and 20 of their shots were blocked. So they did throw everything they had at Dallas in that third period.
Yeah. 32 shots plus 20 block shots. You're looking at over 50 shots thrown at Casey DeSmith. Again, former Canucks goaltender. Looking really good until that last minute of the third period.
Well, and that first goal kind of got in his head, right? Like Tomlinson's saying how smart of a play it is by DeBrusk, but realistically, he's just trying to throw that out front to Besser, hopefully get it through the goalie. Mm-hmm. He bounces it off and it goes in, great. But that got into Smith's head, and then Mancini throws a one from the point. Really, really great job by Carlson to get from the corner. As soon as that puck left the corner, he books it straight to the front of the net, and that's something he's been doing in Abbotsford and being a great net front presence. Perfect screen in front of DeSmith. DeSmith didn't see that point shot at all, and goes by him blocker side, and yeah, it looked like the Canucks were gonna kind of keep it close, and they get a couple heartbreakers against, and it looks like game over. And yeah, you just in hockey, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, it's crazy too now because you look at it, everyone's talking, oh, it's going to be Besser or DeBrusk who wins the goal scoring lead for the Canucks. And suddenly Suter's literally right there with him. Suter scoring his 24th of the year. DeBrusk scoring his 25th. And I believe Besser's at 24 as well, right? So now you got three guys who are all sitting just below that 30 goal mark, which is pretty impressive for a team that has been really having a hard time scoring goals. But lately, that's completely turned things around. They can't stop a goal from going in, but they're playing like the 80s Oilers. The barbershop might like that reference. And all of a sudden, they can score 6 goals against the Dallas Stars, who are one of the best defensive teams in the league as well.
Yep. Well, and one thing you're looking at with the defense struggling a bit is the absence of Tyler Myers.
Right.
He has been a really important veteran on that blue line this season. Despite the odd minor penalty he still takes, he hasn't made those misplays that he was so commonly known for. He's been far less chaotic the last season. But yeah, it's tonight was a night they managed to outscore their mistakes. It just took them the last minute to do so.
Got Styles T in chat. New guy. I haven't seen you before, Styles T. Welcome to Nothing is Perfect. This is Dustin Boydell, my co-host. And he says, Jet fan here. Big thanks on taking it to Dallas. Glad to see the Bucks rattle their Stars. Yep, that was pretty much all.
You're welcome.
It looks like Vancouver, right? Because a lot of the time when we see Vancouver get the lead, they just sit back, right? And I think it was one of those things with Dallas was like, oh, we're up by 3 goals with a minute left. Like, it's over, right? So obviously they took their foot off the gas, and all of a sudden 2 goals, 3 goals, and you're in overtime on a penalty kill.
Yeah. Yeah. Momentum like that, when you get 3 goals in the last minute of the game, momentum like that is next to impossible to recover from.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas didn't even have a single attempt in overtime. They killed off the penalty and then couldn't even get the puck back. And it was, curtains. I mean, they didn't even have a hope.
And just, again, going back to Canucks hockey, right? Like, they didn't really look second period, they looked okay. You know, they started coming back a little bit. But third period, they absolutely dominated. They had 9 shots before Dallas even got a shot in the third period.
Yeah, I mean, they were down 3-0 going into third. You're thinking pretty much game over against a team like Dallas.
Yeah.
And then that lucky bounce by DeBrusque just completely changed everything.
And I'm just like, all right, everyone, just look at this thing. The Canucks will never win. They're never going to get the Stanley Cup. You know, just don't even think about it. We're going to go do show and tell again because nobody actually wants to watch the Canucks right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So face-off wise, they still didn't do great, but I mean, I think it was the puck retrieval that was really, really good. And I wanted, and we haven't talked about him yet tonight because he didn't really show up on the scoreboard, but his play away from the puck, Dakota Joshua seemed to have a little bit of pep in his step tonight. It looked like he was digging the pucks out and making moves to come off the boards with the puck as well, which was one of the problems I was seeing with him before, where he didn't seem like he was very strong on his stick. But this game, I felt like he was one of the reasons the Canucks were able to dig that puck back out of the clutches of the Dallas Stars. Did you see the same thing?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. I'd say that's absolutely accurate for sure. Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, sometimes it starts with baby steps. And with a guy like Dakota Joshua, clearly he dealt with some very serious stuff in the offseason, didn't really get his full training camp. But then to see, and you've seen it for his season, right? Like he's been doing the wave thing, right? Like sometimes he's looking really good, scores a couple goals. And then other times it looks like he's the biggest defensive liability since what, like old U Levy or something like that. But tonight, yeah, I felt like he took a step. And that's the thing. If you can contribute, even without being on the scoreboard, I'll take that from a guy like Dakota Joshua.
Oh, for sure. And that's one of the things that made him so valuable last year. The offense was an upside. He was so defensively sound that even when he went through a period where he didn't score, you didn't really mind. And so, you know, it's nice to see him finding more. He's getting more aggressive. I think he's feeling more comfortable in his body and has fully recovered. You know, he didn't get a proper training camp either. And it's just a weird process to go through when you don't get the time off to train the way you want to. I mean, you got to recover from games, right? You're not building up the way you do in the summer and stuff like that. So it's nice to see him finding his stride again, and I'm looking forward to him hopefully having a healthy off season and getting able to be ready to go right away at puck drop next October.
This might just in general be one of the weirdest nights of hockey that we've seen so far, because I don't know if you saw the score, Dustin, but the Utah Hockey Club is up 7-0 on the Kraken right now. So good thing we won this, otherwise they would have passed us. And then the Bruins beat the Devils 7-2, which is another just crazy game. And then the Islanders and the Predators the Predators came back on the Islanders and won 7-6, which is another one that's just like insane, right? Like just a night of hockey where it's like, what the hell is going on? Something's in the air, I guess.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh 5-0 over Chicago.
Right. After they got beat by Chicago 2 days ago, right? So
yep.
So we're looking at the standings
parity
now.
in the NHL, right?
Yeah.
Anything can happen on any night.
I mean, even though Utah's up 7-0 right now, who knows? That lead might not be safe against the Kraken. The Kraken have a power play to start the period. But yeah, so the Canucks now have 85 points. So that moves them within 6 points of the Wild. So again, we still require the Wild to lose every single one of their last 4 games. And we need the Calgary Flames to lose 4 of their last 5 games. Or I guess, yeah, it would be 4 of the last 5 games. But we still have 2.3% of a chance.
Yeah, just keep winning and see what happens, right? That's all you can do. You can't worry about anything out of town. You just have to win.
Fair.
And that's the number one thing, right? Like that whatever is going to happen completely out of our hands. The only thing that is in our hands is continuing to win, and we'll see.
Let's do the 3 stars. This one will probably be really, really hard to do. And I think that I think Shorty and Tomlinson had a really hard time doing this one too. So good luck, Dustin, on your 3-star prediction.
Okay, we're in Dallas, so the home media picked, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been Shorty then. This is why it's messed up.
Americans love the game-winning goal scorer, so we'll give a star to Kiefer Sherwood. Definitely a star to Mikhail Granlund for having 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Goalies aren't getting any consideration tonight. And then I guess maybe Puce Suter for 2 goals.
Bro, you nailed it.
They like their goals. They like their goals in the States, right? Like they don't really look at
intangibles. Yeah, Kiefer Sherwood, the first
star. Out of order, but
Kiefer Sherwood shows up for the first time in the night and scores the game-winning goal, which is great, but gets the first star for that. Puce Suter gets 2 goals to tie the game up with under a minute left, and then Granlund getting 3 points, so he gets the honorary 3rd star in the loss. But yeah, I mean, the fact that you nailed that, you're clearly getting very good at this stuff, and we're gonna have to try and make it harder on you.
Well, it's just you get used to the way certain media act, and I mean, Shorty is pretty good about being unbiased. He does a good job of looking at the grand scheme of things. In the games like this, it's really hard. So you just look at who had the most points, who had the important points. They could have thrown they could have thrown Jamie Benn on there as a star, right? Like, it's a tough one, but you just kind of get a feeling about how they're going to go, right?
Big Hog Hockey has a question for you. Dustin, would you ever think of coming on the stream for a whole game?
Oh, I never considered that, but I could be like be the Tomlinson to your Shorty, hey?
Exactly, right?
I'll just sit here muted, and then every now and then I'll come in and offer a little tidbit. I'll be like the weird stat guy.
I'll just superimpose you as the devil on my shoulder or something like that.
Yeah,
or the devil and the angel.
That could be fun for sure. Might be something we have to try in the preseason next year or something and see if it works.
Well, it's funny because I used to do, when I was back in the day when I was at BCAT, we used to call the Burnaby Express games. And so I had a guy I was color commentator. He was the play-by-play guy. And I called him up and I was like, hey, dude, would you be interested in doing some Canucks stuff this year? And he's like, yeah, I want to come over to your house and watch the game. I'm like, you got kids now, don't you? And he's like, and I'm like, right now, there is no setup for that. But even if we could do it digitally, we'll have to try and figure that out over the summer for Big Hog and maybe get you on for a little bit more extended period.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll try and get something to happen for sure.
Big Mac with a $1 dono for a swear, I'm assuming. Putting $1 in the swear jar. And Big Hog is supporting it. Color commentary from Dustin Boydell.
There you go.
So looking at the schedule, it's not getting any easier from here. We got the Columbus, Colorado Avalanche coming up on Thursday. It's a 6:00 start in Colorado in the Mile High City. Our best player against the Colorado Avalanche tends to be EP40, who will not be playing. What do you give the Canucks chances of pulling off another win against another really tough team?
It's hard to say. Colorado's been a little streaky lately. I think they're kind of coasting a bit into the playoffs. Also, their goaltenders are young and haven't really played, important games this late in the season. Mm-hmm. So, it's a big test for those guys, the Wood brothers, Wood squared.
They got a force in that.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. I mean, yeah. Anything, we never know, right? This game perfectly summed up this entire season of the Canucks, right? Like, it's good, it's bad, it's ugly, and then it's like, hey, here we come, plan the parade again. I will say this: the biggest difference about Puce Suter's 24 goals and Besser and DeBrusk is Puce Suter's +4, +5 now with those 2 goals.
Yep.
Brock Besser is -25, and Jake DeBrusk is -16. So, that Puce Suter's getting his points 5-on-5, and he's preventing goals 5-on-5. He's also a penalty killer, so there's that. So, he is very, very versatile player, and he is making a case for handing him a pretty big offer to get him to stay. It's just a matter of, like I said, is Hedl healthy enough to be a number 2 center? Because that's where Puce Suter is going to need to play if he stays here, is at number 2 center.
Yeah.
And so it's do you think Hedel is going to be healthy? And if not, then do you trade him or just put him on long-term IR? What's going to happen with that? Hopefully not. And then, we just have to wait and see what happens on July 1st.
Should also mention that the Minnesota Wild play tomorrow against the San Jose Sharks. So we require the Sharks to step it up and get into the weird part of the season and take care of the Wild for us. But the interesting thing too is that, let's say, best case scenario, the Canucks get the luck and Sharks beat Minnesota in regulation tomorrow. The Minnesota Wild then have to play Calgary on Friday and then Vancouver on Saturday. So you're talking about 3 games in 4 nights. But it all starts with San Jose. So we'll see what happens. But 3 games in 4 nights could be really, really tough. And if they lose tomorrow, then all bets are off, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah, and that Calgary one's a weird one. Who do you cheer for? Who do you cheer for in that one?
You have to cheer for Calgary for that one, but you cheer against Calgary in every other game they play.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Dustin, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the gifted memberships to start and the $20 dono. It's really appreciated. Dobby's college fund is getting full out here. Is there anything you want to say to chat before I let you go for the rest of the night?
Oh, I appreciate you all, you beautiful people as always. You are too kind to us with your wonderful comments. I've had an absolute blast all season. This has been great. I've really enjoyed being here. And Russ, to you, it's just appreciation for you taking the time to put all of the things together, doing the overlays and doing your stream structure and putting in the effort that you do to the production. That's just my way of saying thank you for letting me kind of tag along with it and be part of the ride. And here's to the push to 1,000.
I was going to say too, I hadn't actually officially asked you this, but we are planning on doing playoff games. So regardless of what that means with the Canucks, would you be interested in being part of streams for other teams if the Canucks can't pull off a miracle?
Yeah, we'll have to check my schedule when it comes to golf tournaments and stuff, because I will be starting to travel here soon. So I will be able to pop in and out sporadically for sure. I'd love to drop in and just kind of chat about the playoff series and how they're going and things. And I'd love to do that. So I will definitely be around throughout the playoffs. I can't promise that I'll be at every stream like I have been my best to do throughout the season, but I will do my best to pop in here or there to say hi to chat and catch up with you and talk about everything around the league.
And then once it's all over, we'll have to eventually just take our ladies out for some dinner.
Absolutely.
Or maybe go see an Abbotsford Canucks game together. That could work too.
Yeah, go see an Abbotsford Canucks playoff game.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Dustin, thank you very much for everything. I appreciate you and enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
You as well, and we'll see you next game, chat.
Nothing is perfect.